Yeah. Actually, like, yo, welcome to the podcast, Life as It Is podcast. I'm your host, Alan Christopher, and today I got a special guest. As a rapper by Nange, I feel so glad to be right here. The final boss of rap in UG. You must pass through him to know that you have done something. You know, and all y'all know him as. Yeah. But yo, first thing before we start, man, how do you feel being the final boss?
It's a lot of pressure, but I like pressure, man. It keeps me. The reason why I would even be considered the final boss is because I've always embraced pressure.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like feeling like I've arrived. I always want to. I'm like, hey, who's new? Who's killing it? Like, so how do I up my game? So I think that's allowed for the consistency and the longevity. So hey, final boss it is.
Kale, so before you became the final boss, first tell us how did it begin? Like, what was your journey? Like, was rap it? Like,
I used to listen to a lot of. I've listened to a lot of music in my day, but rap, man. When I finally listened to rap, I was like, I've arrived. Like, this is it for me, man. Like,
what was the first beat, or like what was the first song that was like, you know what? I think this is it. Like, I think I can fit in this lane and shit.
Damn, we gonna air out the receipts.
Yeah, man, we gotta go back. Like,
man, man, crisscross jump, like the Brad, the JD era. People know a lot like the JD actual Brad era that actually like really brought them, like them, and of course at the time they were trying to sound a bit like West Coast. So Snoop, 93 Till Infinity. A lot of people are not going to know. I can take cats on a history lesson right now.
Nobody going to know nothing about that.
Too much America. Guys won't manage.
They're about to say the accents are over accenting.
Yeah, like we haven't even begun. Like right now we're still cheating. We're about to get into it for real.
No, like you know, growing up in that era, like being in that, feeling that vibe. Yes. Like what made, like when you stepped in the booth, like did it just come like that, or did you like imitate like the crisscrosses and the J? Like, what was your
I'd like to think I tried. Like at the time, and we were all wearing our pants backwards. Like it was sad. We're sagging them and wearing them backwards. It was a horrible fad.
The tall tees and shit.
Yeah. Tall tee era, man. I'm from the tall tee era, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody,
come on, man.
The tall tee era.
Man. Like that was when like unfitting clothes were really a thing. So like,
because I was in the States about that time too.
Yeah, man. We were picking up all that stuff from Source, Word Up, videos. Like it was the coolest thing, man. Like it made Americans look like heroes, man. Like they live a different life from us, man.
So when you were listening to that, were you here or were you already there?
I was here. Yeah, I was here. I was here till I was like 18, 19. Like I'm basically from here. I was gone for at least like about a decade, but
because like
all that stuff I picked it up here.
Because like the first time I heard you, I was like, man, this is like, he sound like me. Like this is what's happening. Like, by the time, even before we get to that, anyways, like, so I heard you were a part of a group at some point.
Yeah.
That won, like you guys won something. Like,
Urban Life, man. Urban Life, like it was. We came out around the same time as Clear Cut. Yeah. So it was a long time ago. I'm not just the final boss. I'm like a starting boss in this.
But like, how was that? Like in like.
It was exciting.
Because I know Uganda was, even right now, Uganda is still not like trying to really accept the rap. So how was it?
It was exciting. We felt unique. We felt like rebels, you know. We felt like, because man, no one was trying to hear that at all. Like
nobody's trying to hear that. Even now.
I mean, now they're not trying to hear that, but that's because of the opportunities people have been given and the way they misuse them. Because at the time, it would be one thing because there was no money, right? Like that was the main issue. Was you guys look like hooligans.
Yeah.
And there's no one is going to pay for that stuff here, right? Yeah. But now where we are with all of the endorsements and all of the support and the corporate support, and people still act like degenerates. So many people in the music industry act like degenerates, like on purpose, like you're supposed to be a chiniga, like on purpose. Like it's one thing if you come from there, but like it's the purpose part, that's an issue because you're forgetting that you now have a responsibility. So that's why people are not trying to hear it now. Because like, let me tell you something. doing hip hop is right now, it's just as profitable as doing jazz. Nobody's going to say that about Isaiah Katumwa. He's a respectable member of society, you know?
Exactly.
Like, that's the thing. The respectability is something we don't pay enough attention to.
Okay. So, from coming to that time,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Tell me, were you solo first before you joined the group, or you came out straight in the group?
I mean, I was solo as a kid. Like, the thing is, the group was our introduction into the music business, right?
Yeah.
So we were kids. We were going to open mics.
They had open mics for rap
back then? They had them back then, and our tight-knit group was so snobbish because we were writing our own stuff. We'd go to a lot of these open mics, and these guys who were killing it were just killing it on other people's. They would just memorize other people's rhymes at the time, Wu-Tang, whatever. Then they come up there and then they do the same old Snoop or whatever. Yeah. But we were actually, I think that's what bonded us as a crew.
The pen was already working.
Penning, you know what I'm saying? Like it was like what I remember, like I was in a room with guys who a lot of them are now corporates, and one of them was like, yo, this guy just said, I flip scripts just to make ends meet. You have to understand, as a kid in Uganda, you know what I'm saying? To come up with something like, that thing has always stood out to me. Those were the things that were like, wow, we can actually, like, we're actually good enough to do this.
I checked you out. The people that you came with. Yeah. You guys were bad.
Oh, yeah. You guys were mad. Shout out to Wise. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Wordstorm. Shout out to my man JT. Cats was penning heavy, bruh. Like, and we were under Lyrical G, and Lyrical G has always been a pen guy.
Yeah, now I met him, shout out to and I heard about him. I was like, Then I was like, okay.
That's a real OG.
Yeah, that's a real OG. So
I don't got receipts. That dude, there's receipts right there.
But like, if someone listens to you first, before they listen to someone else, like in the Uganda music industry, it's hard for them to say like, that guy is rapping better than Ru. You get?
Yeah, but I mean, for me, I'm not a big fan.
But that might be biased because at the end of the day, I understand exactly what you're saying. Like, that is my flow, that is my zone. So I get that.
Yeah.
You get? So, all right. So, how did you end up in the States?
Urban life kicked off, right? And we started getting a lot of buzz, and we were kids. Yeah. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but like all our families shipped us out of the country. Like everyone who was in that group wound up in UK, Japan, US. I think guys were scared. They went from there's no money to like, these kids are about to access way too much money. Like, you know, a lot of the guys who stayed here back then, I mean, liquor companies were calling, like, were getting us into clubs. We were too young to be in. Yeah, exactly. Of course, they don't do that now because, you would never do that. Anyway, they got us in. We were kids. We were performing. Adult females were feeling like, because we were dressing like people on TV. Yeah. And no one's going to pay attention to that. These are kids just dressing like people on TV, but now we were in the spaces where people knew money was flowing, Yeah. So we actually looked legitimately like, like we looked legitimately like problems. So we got shipped off. So I was in the state. I got shipped out under the premise of you're going for your S6 vacation, then you come back. And when we got there, we're like, just see if you can process your papers and see if you can get a school. Let's see. Yeah. There's a lot of let's see that I turned around and I was like, I wasn't seeing properly. Yeah.
So now I get it. So now as a rapper, you come in here, you're already killing it. Yeah. You go to the States where hip hop is born.
It's everywhere. Like it's born. Like guys are hot.
Era and guys are
everywhere
hard.
You turn, guys are hard.
So how did you fall into?
Now for me, one of the things that I'll never forget is we were about to leave. Like I found we were about to leave, and I was in a group of kids. We're all kids, right? Yeah. And I rapped what I rapped, and everyone was like, dope. This one guy, I don't know, I can't even remember who he is. He was like, yeah, but that's because he's in Uganda. Right? If he was in the States, he wouldn't be anything. Yeah. So now for me, what that did to me was personal. Yeah.
I gotta take that personal.
I took that real personal, my G. I was like,
how you feeling?
And of course, outwardly, because for me, I'm almost a bit more of an introvert. Like I've never been really one to like anyone who knows me, right? I'm on a mic. on whatever this guy, but especially as a kid, like that was my expression.
Yeah.
So outside of that, I wasn't really good at it. So I just looked at the guy. I was quiet. I was like, oh. Inside I was like, excuse me?
This mother effer.
This?
We gon' get, I'm gonna get hill.
So for me, from when I landed, it was personal.
Yeah.
So what that did for me was, it made me a beast because I did my best to hone my skills. For them, they were just rapping with each other. For me, I was competing. I was like, I'm coming from Africa, so for me, I'm already like under. Yeah, you already got I got everything stacked against me on this one. So anytime I was in a room with somebody, I was in my head, I'm taking your fucking head off. Bro, I'm taking your head off.
And I think like people always, even me right now, like when it's that. They put that competitive nature in you. Like when you go there and you see how people like they first reach at the beginning, you're like, so that's how you guys feel. So that makes you want to even go like harder and harder and harder.
Because guys under they work over that. They don't.
So what was the first time that you spit that people realized, okay, this African boy can spit?
Now what happened was, because I was already in a crew of spitters, right? And because for me, I had put them up here. Where I was going in the States, I was coming with fire on everything. Yeah. What ended up happening was, even though guys were nice, I started making guys just stop and like low-key freak out. It was like, yo, dude, because for me, I was taking it really seriously. Like I didn't want to be in a room with anyone better than me. If you are better than me, the next time I was in that room
time you gonna
with
see me, I'm gonna be better.
You gonna see me. So I was constantly in that space. I was constantly writing. I was constantly spitting. I was constantly like studying. Constantly trying to evolve my That's the reason. Like now, it's just a product of having done it so much. It's automatic for me. Like this, it's just demigod level status because it's just automatic for me. Whether it's a freestyle, whether it's what, it's just for me. It's just one of those things. If somebody tells me you can do this when it comes to rapping, but you can't do that. You can't spit in that language. You can't do that style. I'm like, you're gonna see me. I've just kept that energy. I don't like people telling me what I cannot do. Like I've always, especially in hip hop, I wish I had that energy in everything in life. But definitely when it comes to on the rap stage, I don't care who you are. So you're gonna see me.
So I see. I was looking you up and I see you had a record deal at some point. Yeah. So how did that come about?
Internet was really like bubbling at the time, like MySpace. And whatnot. And so what happened was,
people don't remember the MySpace.
I'm saying like, I mean, man, cats need to like.
But MySpace,
maybe they need to know their history, maybe they don't.
But like, man, when you just put your video on your MySpace and you can just edit your whole page. Man,
I edited my whole page, and that's actually what got me the deal. Cause like I knew a guy who could edit the whole page, so he gave me, I don't know how many followers, subscribers, what, I had all this cool stuff on my page. I didn't even have an interview for signing. Guy just got a message like, with this company, we've done this, we want to sign. I was like, hey, like.
So do you mind me asking how much or what you got out of your first deal? Was it worth it?
I mean, at the time, I felt like it was worth it. Because what I mostly got, like, we got an advance to do an album or whatever. But what we mostly got was, I got exposure to the business. That's why I can never do anything for anyone for exposure now. Either I'm feeling what you're doing. Because I have exposure on a different level. Like we toured, I did a tour across the states. Because
it says you shared. I was on because I see like Lupe Fiasco's and the Roots and stuff like that.
How was that?
How was the Wu-Tang and how was being around those guys and coming from?
As a hip hop artist, I know that's like a dream purist, to like for me, I was living on a different plane with that stuff because like a lot of the people who I admired, I would get to meet them and there would be this mutual respect, back when I did, do certain things. They call you backstage, do all that stuff with them. I stood in a circle with the Wu-Tang Clan. Smoke.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I was a kid. Like I stood in their circle, and
but you've accomplished.
Every chick I was with that day was trying to go home. They weren't even trying to be like, I want to go out. Like we go to get like.
By the way, now you've mentioned that, like, if your family took you from here because you was in, now you go there, you're a rapper. Like, how was the female interactions? Like, how did you handle the female interaction?
One, probably not in the best way. Two, it was because here I was nobody. Right?
Yeah.
There, especially when I was coming up, especially being in the Midwest,
yeah,
it was a big thing to be a certain level.
What state
of
exactly were
MC.
you in, if you don't mind me asking?
I was in Illinois.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I used to move in and out of Chicago a lot, and the school was in Champaign. It was a big thing to actually be an MC at a certain level. Like at a certain level, right? I remember this one time I was in this place, and Exhibit A had just come out by this guy whose name I don't even remember anymore. He was with Erykah Badu for a while. He was an underground rapper. On the song where Kendrick name drops everybody, that was his song.
Yeah.
What's his name? I can't even remember his name right now. Like the song Big Sean, him, whatever, that guy, right? He was just bubbling. Like we used to bubble on the internet a lot.
Yeah.
Like the same platforms that I was doing music on and people were plugging my stuff and appreciating me, that's the same platform where they first put a J. Cole. Like where...
So you guys probably started that platform.
We were on that, like I could have, at the time. Like there was a time when I did a small joint with Drake. Like I did it was just a song, I put it up, and then I reached out and they were like, hey, we could do a song, right? Yeah. You just need like $400. And I was like, I ain't got that kind of money. In retrospect, I would have found it.
Yeah.
In retrospect, because even then, that was actually when he was starting to bubble. Like even then, like the access I had to so many different
How old are you
artists.
at this time?
I'm like somewhere between 20 and 26, like 19 and 26.
That's a bad time for you to be in
so,
that.
Yeah,
that's when
like
you wilded.
I really, I was, whoa.
Like, because even me at that age, like I was in.
Yo, I did a lot of things that I'm not talking about.
Yeah,
they're not necessary. There's a lot of things I didn't do. But there's a lot. I did a lot, man. I did a lot. Like
we're not even gonna answer that, cause man. So how did that end? Did it end when you came back, or did
no? What happened was this,
your contract
right?
was
What
over?
happened was this. What happened was this. The contract, it did what it did. And at the time we were like, it's not going to do too much for us, because we realized a lot of the things we're doing with the contract, because I had some friends who were helping to manage, we could do ourselves. Yeah. Right? So we started going and just doing this stuff by ourselves, and then personal things just started to happen. Like the thing about that life is it's a movie. Yeah. So the movie, the credits roll and your life is still going, you know? Yeah. Mental, emotional, social, there was a lot of stuff. Like I was in a lot of spaces with people who, instant gratification, men and women, instant gratification. That was happening a lot. No one was really trying to build anything in those spaces. So when I stepped out of those spaces, I would be invisible, and I needed to step out of those spaces because like it didn't feel real in a sense of you could build anything. Yeah. You know, the thing that I'm grateful for is a lot of the deals that were offered to me, you know, as soon as anybody knew I was a Christian, like remotely. Yeah. Because
I was going to get to that. Yeah. Like, because they say at some point in your life you were a Christian, you were a gospel artist, like a gospel Christian rapper.
I was.
So were you not cussing in your music before for them to come to deal with you? Or
I cussed for a season, but I haven't cussed in a long time. Like even before I like actively was a gospel artist, like it was just a stigma in my family. Like there's a way, and the way it was done was this. You use cuss words or you cuss when you have no vocabulary and you have nothing to say. So it was a pride thing for me. It was like, nah, I got a vocabulary. I can say anything I need to say and I don't have to cuss to say it. So it built a beautiful thing in me because I've never had to cuss, you know, and I've never had to cuss to out rap anybody. Like, no matter who's on a track with me, usually I'm a standout. I've had some moments where guys have gotten me who were really nice, but I've consistently kind of been like on the upper edge of like most songs, or if not any song I've done. Like it's really hard to get me.
So did you become a gospel artist when you came back?
So actually, what happened was
before you came back. And
I've always had a relationship with God. Like, so when those deals came along, I wouldn't even say I was even like saying I was born again, but I've always had a relationship with God. So a lot of those deals I can see now, because a lot of those deals came from a lot of people who are in the news now and stuff, like subsidiaries of that. Yeah. And so you have to be they usually don't mess with you if you're in a place where you can't renounce God, even somewhere down the line. And I was very adamant about that. So a lot of those deals passed on me. So I wasn't really in a place where like my skill and my money, they weren't really adding up. It's been an issue for a long time. And so
let's take a little break.
All right.
So this podcast is brought to you by AEimaging, Tempo Music Studios. Yes. Follow and subscribe. By the way, we got a little. I want something before we've been getting too serious, yeah. So I just have a little game for you. I always do.
All right, cool.
This is like smash, marry, kill. You know what I'm saying? We gonna do it. We gonna do it like. Let's say we got Foxy.
Okay.
We got Lauryn Hill. And we got Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to kill Foxy. I'm sorry. Because I can't marry Foxy. Okay. Because I'd be married to Lauryn Hill. You know what I'm saying? And smashing to me is something that's a very shallow thing. Right? So what I mean is that it's purely aesthetic. Especially if I'm married to...
maneuver the lines.
If I'm married
this guy is media trained. The media training is media training.
So, Lauryn Hill, wifey, automatic off the bat. Because if it wasn't Foxy, right? It would be Lauryn Hill. If we just smash it, we're gonna go for the highest level of smashability after wifey. You're not messing with Nicki with that. Like, I'm sorry. Like, everything about her persona, it might not even be real. But the way the persona has been presented, if in those three this is wifey and then but it's smart, like, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to find out.
All right.
I'm gonna have to find out, and but it's all love for Foxy. I gotta kill you, but it's all.
We got the producer right here trying to ask a question. What's up?
Why did you ask him? Why did you ask Ruyonga about American women? Why don't you start from Uganda? Hey, Uganda.
We don't want those problems right now. We don't want those problems while we're in Uganda.
What does the program have? What does it have?
But anyway, give me your top five. Give me your top five rapper.
Nah, that's that. What top five?
Rappers. Yeah. What's your top five? This bad them thought it was going to top five.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, which three chicks were you talking about before?
No. It's A1 to come up with the list.
Then we're not worried about that. So my top five rappers.
No, let me give you. Hold on. I can give you a list in Eugene. Hold on. I give it to someone else. All right, we got three, right? This is what you will really use. We got Sheba. We got Lydia. And we got Winnie.
What kind of a list is that, man? What kind of a list is that? All right, first and foremost, I'm not marrying Sheba because...
Remember you are...
No, I'm sorry, but here's the thing. Yeah. I'm not marrying Sheba because... thank you for reminding me, so I have to phrase this differently.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not marrying Sheba because I got too much respect for her business. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to learn from her from a business perspective.
You phrase media traded. Phrase that right. Phrase that right.
You know what I'm saying? Because
now we got Lydia and Winnie on the
we got Winnie and Thingy.
So what are you gonna do with Sheba though? What you gonna do?
Let me get to that. Let me first start with
these other two. Explanation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You are installing.
It's a political yes, a campaign yes. So you got to pull out all your stops. I'd marry Lydia Jasmine.
That's a two for her.
I'd marry because I don't know if two alphas, like, I get this energy and she actually I hear she's pretty soft, like she's but the vibe I get from Winnie,
she gonna beat your ass.
Like, we gonna have to fight.
Yeah, we gonna fight.
Like, that ain't gonna work well for me.
Shorty ain't got no time to play with you. No, but I respect that though. I like her because she gives that energy. Like, hey, don't play with me, and I won't play with you.
In a different space, like at a different moment, I would marry Winnie because then if you can handle a woman like that.
There's nothing you can't handle.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you the boss. You the final boss.
You feel me?
You the finished boss.
Shorty look like she got hands, bro.
Yeah, like
Shorty, she look like she ain't gonna play with you.
So,
but then
so,
Lydia has that feminine touch. Like she got some femininity to her.
So yeah. It's like,
but what you saying though, like on some real stuff, like Sheba, I respect her work ethic and all that stuff.
I want to learn from Sheba.
You want to learn from her.
Yeah.
Like when that's your chick. Like if we go out, everybody, ain't no one messing with you.
Yeah. She looked like a ride or die. I just want to make
that's
sure.
That's what I like too. I like that.
I love a ride or die. I'm just like, I don't just want to be on the list.
Yeah, don't ride on me.
I'm saying,
if she gonna ride against you, it's over with.
Don't ride on me. You know what I'm saying? So like that's the thing is like I don't care what new age stuff they give you out here, man. Men like women who don't look like we're gonna fight with each other. Like you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you would. So respect.
So now that we're back on some serious note, I was reading and it said like you went through a period of depression.
Yeah, I did.
What was some of the causes of that?
I mean, just the lifestyle, man. Like there was nothing. There were no real connections. It was this simple. I hit up a spot. Everyone's cool. I do what I do. Everyone's energy changes, right? Me, I'm trying to use that energy to my advantage. I'm scoping the hottest chicks in the room. You know what I'm saying? And I usually had access, especially after I did what I had to do. So it got to a point where this one time.
This sound like? Hold on. You know what this sound like? Drizzy.
Yeah, but I'm not taking another man's situation. So what would happen is like this one time, right? This dude was trying to. This dude really liked what I did, right? So he offered to buy all my music, all my CDs that I had that day. CDs are like what MP3s are now. CDs, you got
for the young kids. CDs is what we had in them days.
What we had after cassettes. You don't know what a cassette is, but before streaming, you had to have it on a
CD player,
on a disc. A CD is a disc. So now everybody in that room that day was scoping this one chick. I think she came alone that day. She was in Chicago, and that chick just straight up walked to me, and she was like, so that dude took all his money.
Yeah.
I walked to the left. In hindsight, in retrospect, what I should have done was I should have been like, yo, but this is my guy right here.
You didn't introduce the man? I should have introduced. You got caught up in the chicken. I got caught up in the.
I didn't introduce the man. Mans wanted the same energy I was getting. I wanted that I wanted that energy. Like I wanted that. She was the hottest chick in the room, bro. You know what I mean? She was the hottest. I was a kid.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't calculating things properly. You live and you learn. Yeah. You know.
So what happened after that?
So anyway. What was the last question?
What happened with the shorty that you took from everybody?
Oh.
So how did that lead to like?
How did that lead to, I mean, we left together. It happened a lot back then.
So that
But in like afterward, after everything was done, everybody would have to go their separate ways. Yeah. Which maybe sounds like a cool and a fantasy in someone's head when it's like every once in a while. Or
so when
like
the light
some kind of story. Yeah. But now this was the standard. You know what I'm saying? So everyone was in it for something and then they go their own way. Everybody's in it for something, go their own way. So.
But that's how it is.
Yeah. But I wasn't building any. This is the States though. I wasn't building, and I mean the States. It might be bad too, but what happens was I wasn't building any connections, any real connections,
long-lasting connections.
And I'm already someone who's not from there. Yeah, and it just started to take a toll. Like,
so did you get in that depression mode while you were there, or when you came back and everything became different?
I've never been depressed here. I know people get depressed here, but I wish people knew, man. Like we have so much.
So even me, that's what I said. So like dealing with that.
Yeah.
Did that lead you to coming back?
No. What happened was it led me to God. Like it really, now that's where my connection, because it got to the point where I was like, either I'm going, God, and whatever you have me here for, it's not going to happen, or you're going to do something, Like, and he did something. Like, when I asked God to come for me,
He showed up.
He showed right up. Like he just orchestrated a series of events where, he showed up.
Yeah.
So, as a result, I went to Vegas and I'm doing some things that happened there. But because I'm in this deep connection with God, there comes a point where there's a series of messages and dreams and everything around me is telling me I need to go home.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to come. Like, all my people didn't want me to come. I didn't feel I was in a place. Because the idea is when you leave, you're supposed to come back cashed up. Like, you know, and I was in the States and I was like, I still need to stay here to do what I need to do and build what I need to build. But God was like, no, you actually need to go home. Yeah. Like, there's so many things that happened. My name changed from Crooked to Ryonga, so many things.
Yeah, but why did you change your name from Crooked to Ryonga?
There was an album I tried to do as Crooked, especially I'd gotten born again. And it was funny, like the man of God at the time kept calling me straight. He was like, I don't feel like calling you Crooked or whatever. And I was doing this album and it stalled. And it just wouldn't move. It went from moving to stop. It just wouldn't move. Long story short, the time I contemplated changing my name to Ryonga, for reasons I thought were personal, because I was starting to get more into African representation and being and repping where I'm from, and actually would be cool to use your name because it's a unique thing. That day I turned my name to the day I became Ryonga again, the album finished in like 3 days. So for me, that was just God's way of saying. So you felt like it was divine.
Yeah, so okay.
Yeah.
So now you've come back.
Yeah.
What's your first move?
I'll go into business. I didn't even come back to do music. I came back and my boys were doing graphics and I have a graphic background. So I was in an office at Kampala Road. I was doing the graphics for them. We were doing calendars. I was doing any kind of graphic design, especially at the time. It wasn't as just completely everyone has access to the things they have now. Yeah. I had that understanding coming from the States. So we were in a prime position. Yeah. You know, because this was back in 2010, 11. So, but then I linked up with one of my pen guys called JT, awesome spitter. He just found God. He was in the beats now. And we do these 2 songs. One of those songs is called Pesa. The other song was called Tutuse. So I do the song Pesa. And we're going to do other. We did other songs too. We did God Move, a bunch of other songs. So I put out Pesa. Pesa made so much noise that it got taken off YouTube because he had done the production with a Kenyan guy who said it was okay to use the song. Yeah, until but when he saw what he did.
Okay. So now he wants money.
Yeah. So that stopped that song. We had a video and everything, but then showed me like, now if that's what's with Pesa, because I now knew Tutuse was a different beast. Yeah. So I'm doing my thing. Couple months later, I dropped Tutuse and everything changed, man. I wasn't gonna be I wasn't gonna be sitting in the office doing graphics anymore after that.
So since then,
like
you hop back in the studio.
Yeah, since then, and once I get back in the studio, that's it.
So how has the journey been since coming back
tough.
So far? Yeah.
It's been eye-opening. It's been very, very, very rewarding. It's one of those things. I'll never look back at my life and there'll be a single day that I was in studio and I was like, I wasn't supposed to be there. That'll never happen.
Yeah, that's why you're the final boss. I see you. So okay, now what you working on now?
No EPs, no album, no collaborations. We're gonna be dropping. I'm gonna see how final boss I am. I'm gonna drop clips this year until it's just like, oh, that's just what he does. I'm killing everything. I'm killing my own stuff. I'm killing everybody's stuff. I'm killing every genre. I'm gonna be making different moves too, definitely, because we can't just be that. But by the end of this year, there's some. Yeah.
So by the way, you just released the EP.
I released the album, Kabbalah.
Yeah, how was the album? What was the reception of the album? Because I love. By the way, I love the album because I was there while it was, in the process of finishing up. So, how is it that the reception of it? Did it give you more motivation to release something else? How was the reception?
I hadn't put out a project in years. Especially when I wanted to put out another one and COVID happened and whatnot. And that's when I did Kabbalah, but we didn't finish it for a couple of years just because of certain things that happened. But I mean, when we finally got it out, it was a satisfying feling. It was great.
It was a good vibe. It was a good vibe.
It was real cool. We did a listening party. It was epic. And I just trusted God and did a concert. Because I hadn't done one of those in a long time. And I just felt like I needed to do that. And the concert was awesome. And we had a good time. I killed it. We had great organization. People were there. We trended. We established some great relationships from that. And yeah, man, last year was a blessing. Got some awards in there too.
That's mad. So I always ask people this question, like, who is your dream collabo?
Who is my dream collabo? Right now?
Yeah, right now.
Globally. Right now, globally.
Yeah.
Tyler. I'd say Tyler.
You're the second person.
I mean,
first wait. Which Tyler?
Don't give me no nonsense. The other guy, we can rap whenever. Definitely, there's not going to be that Tyler over Tyler.
Which Tyler? The chick?
If I say the other guy, I say his full name. So if you ever hear me say Tyler and I'm talking about the rapper, it'll be Tyler the creator. This is Tyler the singer. Because
what's up with her vibe that you like?
One,
because you're a rapper,
she just seems like a dope. I could be wrong. She seems like a dope person. I love her pen. Like whoever is penning for her, it's just beautiful stuff. I like to be challenged. You know, I would have to come with my A game. It wouldn't just be this is some R&B person I'm just doing a rap over. And three, we are entering a place where I believe African dominance in music globally is about to go to a whole new level. So why would I want to start from a place of inconvenience, from the challenging place of going to these guys when they're all coming here?
Yeah.
You know? And at the forefront of African music dominance right now is Tyler. Like, it's definitely Tyler. I mean,
you think so?
They've co-signed. Now, of course, for me, I don't just think musically, right? Because there's so many people who I do want to do collabs with. But at the front of that, I do a song with Tyler tonight. What happens?
Yeah, her fan base is different. I get it.
What happens?
You enter.
Ain't no fan base like that. Not even the top 3 African. That fan base ain't that. It ain't that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
what do you think about? Where do you think UG hip hop should head to? Like, what do you think is missing in UG hip hop?
No, I think.
Or do you think we're on the right path?
When it comes to UG hip hop right now, I'm a fan of where things seem to be going because a lot of my affiliates, a lot of people that I like, are making moves that I appreciate. We have some good people in the content space. Some people who are hip hop purists, you know, like they really love the culture. Like they actually love the culture, you know. Shout out to my Temple people. Shout out to, you know, Paper. Shout out to Legacy and Munubi. Like, that's a perfect balance for me.
For all
like,
those guys.
Shout out to Price. Shout out.
Exactly. Like, give me like, if you're comfortable, what's your top 5 in UG?
Top 5 in UG.
Take you out.
My top 5 in UG is Legacy is definitely in my top 5. There's a guy called Shatta. Guys don't know him, he's bad. There is Price, Teva. Big ups to Price.
Big
Price
up to Price,
them.
Yeah.
Then shout out to my man Chief. And the problem is now when I say Chief, then I can't say my guy. My 2 guys. I feel like I'm cheating when I say those 2. So Chief is the representative, but you're my guys. So the fifth person, because I'm trying to think of, because we're not in the same game anymore. You can't just rap. There has to be more than that. The 5th person right now, I have to give a representative from my guy's side of shout out to Fefe Busi, because he's held down.
Yeah, that's
he's held down that side of things.
But you know what I'm proud. What I'm happy about. You didn't mention the mainstream. You mentioned the underground. The guys that's actually.
I'm mentioning the guys who are carrying the pulse of the game, not the guys who you know.
Yeah.
And if the guys who you know were carrying the pulse of the game, like the way I would say are carrying it would be one thing. Yeah. But those guys are established guys, and I don't see any pushing of the envelope with them. So I can't really name them because right now my mind frame is where are we going? Not where we are right now. Yeah. Are we good? All those guys are my G's, right? And they've accomplished so much, and big ups to them. But where are we going? Go stream, go watch UG Buddy, Paper, Legacy, like big ups to the boys. You know, I want to see like if moves like that are getting made. That's what's up. Those are the things I want to see.
And you see, like for my thing, what I want to do is I want to showcase us, the underground people, where we are going. Yeah. I want to be on the journey to see like, okay, because there's so much talent in UG. Yeah. In the musical, not even just rap, like artists in UG are like on a different level. And we don't have so much that someone is focusing on the art scene like that. Nah. Everyone wants to party, everyone wants to go to the club, everyone wants to go to events. You get which is cool. I don't mind it, you know what I'm saying? We need to showcase our young guys to
got a lot to do.
You know, we got a lot to do, and I'm trying to do my part, you know what I'm saying? And with that being said, you know, my guy, the final boss, Mr. Ru, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for coming through and showing us, giving us some, you know, some words.
Anytime.
And one last word, tell these guys what they need to do, or give us these people some word of inspiration. And before he gives us a small performance of one of his jams, so we can see, I would say give us a 16, but I ain't got the money to pay you for that. But follow give us some last words. So
follow Ruyonga Music on all platforms. It's just Ruyonga Music with a Z on Facebook. Some of y'all don't do, but some of y'all do Facebook. YouTube is youtube.com/Ruyonga. Check out all my new stuff. Big ups to everybody who's always making moves and positively impacting the culture. And let's be serious. This is a year, I believe, on all fronts. It's a year to make money. It's a year to invest. It's a year to diversify. It's a year to at least put your foot forward and see what happens. And protection for everybody through this year, because I know we're going to enter that campaign season where people be out for blood and be doing stupid stuff or just all kinds of stuff. But like God's protection on God's people. Big ups. If you're a person of the devil, you're there. That you may be with that one. But God's people, big ups.
Thank you so much. Shout out to everyone that works on this podcast, by the way. You know, shout out to everyone. We are being sponsored by
Tempo
Music and Tempo Music.
Shout out to Ledra.
Yeah. Shout out to Ledra, my sound guy. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everyone that's been around, that's watching and everything. Thank you. Have a blessed one.
Hey, what about the quick 8 or quick 16?
Mananga, are you going to pay the man them? Sizina, you know the devices are expensive. It'll be a bay. What do you have on it?
What do I have on it?
By the way, I didn't have you are his producer. You produce. So now, is he okay to give us a 16? Can he give us a 16?
If he's comfortable doing it.
Are you comfortable giving us a 16?
Just a quick 8, not a 16. The 16. Just a quick 8.
But people want to know why you are the final boss.
You have to show guys. You have to show guys
why you're the final boss.
You have to show guys dominance.
All right, cool.
Hey, the mic.
All right. Look, you'll never find my rhyming off. I've been killing this since the vinyl wars. Everybody trying to know why I'm the final boss. It's cause I am like him, I am him. I will never switch gender like that man Chris Jenner. And when I come to, whether acapella or instrumental, it's simple. Shout out to Access Temple. We got one for your temple. This how we do it easily. I'm chilling with my people here. Shout out to AE.
Oh. That was tight.
Mic drop and walk off. Now walk off. Thank you, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, that was that.
Hey, you're Ruyonga, you're bad.
Bro, Wanda JR.
Sexy Belange.
Hey, Molewa. We outside. Woo. It's a banger.
Ain't no party yani, what's the plan? All over not Uganda wani, manako wazenani, Uganda wani. All over not Uganda wani. Party, dance. What's the plan? What's in the pocket? What's in the charts? What's on the streets? What's on the
Okay, party, kupate, demo after party. Christ your license, in a third party. Tuvimba, mutino, garodi, wasite. Tuze kubajukiza, obanga mwera bide. Pate, sipate, paka nga tujiremu, nga tujiyingidemu. Feba na nyinemu, dope right. Mob guys, fena twaze wa munga sawa yako tetukisagira moro nitukitere kiro nihangwe kandi ni hano n'abanwani banje wanda ne sex corporate netuhandikira checks mobile banking netusindikira text era yakabalega say live in the flesh tikuzane rombya sente nigga have to say fresh so I can step out wearing my Saturday best that's how the rhyme the prime reason I hard is the flex nature mind
what's the plan Olubawa no tugenda wani Manako wazenani Tugenda wani Olubawa no tugenda wani Sasa Party, go party Dance, go dance What's the plan? What's in the context?